So, I'm Michelle Yasuda, if you don't know me, and I want to welcome you to the Foundation for Conscious Living community. And this program that we're about to launch into tonight is part of our Big Leap Home online programs. And we're here to support individuals, organizations, and communities in generating agency, connection, and creativity on our shared planet. So I'm really excited about tonight's call for many reasons, and I'm going to just pause for one sec to say, just on a logistics point of view, I want to make sure that you're all aware of our Hendrix community online. So I'm going to throw a link in the chat just in case you're not aware of it, where you can learn more about the Hendrix and lots of great resources on there, and you can chat with the community. So, our tradition here in the Big Leap Bridge world is to appreciate our facilitator. And I have only known Juna a little bit through this context right here. And the thing that I appreciate about you and your presence is just this gentle openness that I feel when I'm with you. And what I really admire about the work that you're dedicated to, I know it's not the only thing you do, but your work around anger is so important and so inspiring to me. So I'm
Hmm.
very excited for everyone to be able to enjoy this tonight and learn and grow together. So I'm just going to turn the call over to you and just say thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Michelle. It feels good to receive. And yeah, I feel really grateful to be with all of you today. And yeah, I'm someone who, for those of you who maybe don't know me, I'm a Big Leap coach. I'm a somatic experiencing practitioner. I did a TEDx talk in 2018 or 19 on anger. And I've been leading workshops and classes in universities on this topic for many years. And I think, like Michelle said, it is such an important topic, and it's something that's so stigmatized and so misunderstood that it's really important that we support each other in growing tools to have a better relationship with this emotion. Oh, thank you for adding my TED Talk. Great. Thank you, Judy. So I'm really glad you're all here. If for some of you this feels edgy and scary, that's totally normal. If for some of you you're like, yeah, I'm excited to get into this emotion, that's totally normal too. Um, but I think just to start, before we kind of dive any deeper in, I want to just ground us all in our bodies together. So if you'd be willing, and you can do this just from a seated position, just take a moment and get comfortable. And if you're seated or standing, just take a few deep, slow breaths. You can close your eyes or just lower your gaze towards the ground. And as you breathe, just notice yourself right now. Just notice what's here. And we're not even touching into anger yet. So just notice how your system responds to even the idea that in this class today, we're going to be touching in with our anger. Just notice what sensations are here, what emotions are here, where those sensations are, and what they're doing inside. How would you describe those sensations? And just to play with this, because this is a movement class, just see if there's one movement or gesture that organically comes from your body right now and go ahead and express it. Go ahead and do it. It can be weird or strange, but just go ahead and honor whatever movement is here on the inside. And just notice how that feels. And now just notice if there's any sound, a sound that is here that wants to be expressed. And again, just see if you can follow that expression, and you could leave yourself muted or you can unmute yourself. And on the count of 3, we all make a sound. 1. Wow. Ah. Yeah. Ah, good job. And so just take a moment. I'm going to actually put us on gallery view so I can look at all of you. Okay, great. And so just take a moment and just coming back to the space, opening your eyes, and just notice how you feel. Now, having just connected with your body, making that sound, that movement. Ah, great. And so before I kind of share what we're going to be doing today, I'd love to just hear from some of you of why you're here. What do you want to get out of this class on sacred rage dance? What are you here for? And anyone, you can just, because we're a smaller group, you can unmute yourself or you can write in the chat.
I'm here to just let out whatever anger may still be in my body, because recently I've had some some sciatica issues and back issues, and then I read a book about back pain and how anger and rage can be part of that, and so I would like to just release whatever needs to be released.
Nice. Oh, and I love that you're going to write a book about this, Judy. That's great to hear. Yeah. And
Oh, I
and
didn't say. I said I read a book.
oh, you read a book. Oh,
I
okay.
read a book, and
Sorry.
I read a book, and as the name of the book is Back Pain, I believe, by a doctor, Dr. Santos or something. But in the book, it made me aware of the author was getting that message that pain can be because of that
Yeah.
unresolved anger. So anyway,
Yeah.
I am an author of 2 other books, but
Oh,
on
great. Okay.
relationships, but not
Okay.
on pain. I don't really
Okay.
want to write on pain.
Okay. Great. Yeah. And it's so true. And this is something I originally learned from Katie Hendricks, is that anger tends to hang out in our jaw, in the back of our neck and shoulders, forearms, wrists, even in your hands, low back. I've also experienced it in my low belly. Emotions that are unresolved, unexpressed will tend to manifest physical issues. So it's so true. Thank you for sharing that, Judy.
You're
And
welcome.
anyone else want to share? Okay.
By the
Yeah.
way, Katie and Gay Hendricks are in my book because I interviewed them on
Oh,
the podcast.
nice.
So anyway, just to let you know that they're really a precious
Amazing.
couple.
Amazing. And anyone else want to share what you're here for? What do you want to experience today? Dawn, go
I
ahead. Or Mary.
realized that, yeah, thank you. I have realized that grief for the past few months, grief has been like a portal for a lot of my anger. So I've just been unpacking all of that and using grief as the vehicle for releasing a lot of anger. And I'm just like, I didn't even know that was possible, but I'm all for it.
Wow, that's really powerful to hear. And you're right. A lot of times emotions don't just flow through us alone. They have little buddies, and grief is oftentimes a big anger buddy. And sometimes grief will be on top of our anger. Sometimes it'll be underneath our anger. It's so fascinating. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, Dawn. And today, as you're moving and dancing, grief may arise, and trust it and see if you can ride it through like you've been doing. So that's perfect. Yeah. And anyone else want to share? Welcome, Jason, and whoever else just joined. We're just kind of sharing about why we're here, what we want to get out of this class. Oh, Mary, it looks like you're unmuted if you want to share.
I just feel like I've had this rage like stuck in the back of my throat. And I just find myself, I'll see something on TV and I'll just start screaming. And it's just nice seeing other people wanting to release this.
Yeah. And so today for you, like a lot of jaw stuff, tongue, so where there's opportunities to move, like really moving your neck, your jaw. Obviously, if there's anything I invite people to do that doesn't feel comfortable for your body, take care of your body. Don't follow what I'm doing, but yeah, like moving, opening in here and making sound and really trusting that today. That's going to really help us unlock whatever's been hanging out in your throat. Yeah, thank you, Mary. And Jody, did you want to share?
Sure, yeah. One reason why I'm here is because it's you, and I haven't seen you in such a long time, and you've been living across the world for a while now. And because I back in the day, what was it, 15 or 20 years ago, we used to speak of our a special emotion. Katie used to have us figure out which one was our special emotion, and mine was anger, which means the one I had more difficulty expressing or feeling. And so, while she doesn't phrase it that way anymore, anger was my special one, and it was, and I've learned a lot and shifted a lot with that. But I'm curious to hear more of what you can share and learn some new tricks.
Yeah, thank you, Jody. Well, it's so sweet to see you. And yeah, I love hearing that anger is your special emotion, and it was mine. Now I'd say grief is maybe a little bit more mine, or shame, but I've really been exercising anger and getting to know it and deepening with it. And it's so powerful because it helps reveal our love. It helps us it's actually supported me in growing my heart and how much I love, which is a surprising benefit of going down this journey. So thank you so much for being on this anger journey. I love it. Yeah. And maybe one last share if anyone wants to before we dive a little deeper in.
I'll just jump in and say hello. And it's really good to be on a call with y'all. There's several people I'm looking at right now that are old familiar friends, and a couple of new faces as well. Yeah, so anger is a new journey for me. I realized recently, like within the last year, maybe 1 to 2 years, that anger is the one that I had suppressed more than anything else because it was not safe in my house to be angry. And the way that I've expressed that was through criticism and being judgmental. But now it's becoming, as I'm becoming more in touch with it, I'm able just to take a stand in the anger and create boundaries and say what needs to be said. So I definitely feel it as a part, as a part of myself that shows up as it actually looks like my father, because my dad, that's where I learned that style from. And so I've kind of introjected his image, even though it's me. I realize that it's me now. But so yeah, I've been learning a lot about it, and I'm excited to learn more. I'm also in a small room in a library, and so I may have to sort of tone down whatever practice is being suggested here. So just wanted to mention that as well.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Jason. And yeah, it's so true. What you share is just that when we suppress anger, it finds a way out anyways. It will come out as sarcasm, as condescending, snaky, comments, it slithers out and it just goes sideways, as Katie would often say. And so I love what you're sharing of like now really learning to create relationship with this emotion. You learn how to go direct. And it's just this clean, hey, I have a boundary. Hey, that's a no. Versus the sideways stuff, which, yeah, can become judgment or self-judgment, and it can get toxic really easily. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I also had a really volatile father. He wasn't physically violent, but he was emotionally eruptive, and it was terrifying as a child. So I also really learned early on to suppress anger. So yeah, I can relate. Well, let's go ahead and get in our bodies. So I just shared a link. We're not going to start with music right now, but if you look in the chat, for those of you who haven't downloaded the playlist or don't have Spotify, it's okay. But there's a link to a Spotify playlist that starts with some drumming music, and you can use that today if you want to. You can use no music if you want to. You can also maybe have your own music that you want to play. And we're not going to start with it for this first wave we're going to go through, but for the second wave, I'm going to invite music. And that can really help us get even more into this emotion. I noticed some of you have video off. You're welcome to keep your video off if that feels more comfortable for you. If you want to turn it on at a certain point, you're welcome to. It's so great to see everybody. And I also know this can be kind of vulnerable territory. So at any point, if you are in your body moving and you're like, ooh, what I'm doing is a little performative, or I'm self-conscious of who's looking at me, turn off your video or even step out of the screen if that's going to help you. And if you are willing to keep your video on, it also can help us really feel like we're in this together because we're on Zoom and not in person. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay, great. And again, that link, you'll just see it in the chat to the Spotify playlist if you want it. But I'll just start with saying, ideally today, what we're doing is not just some rageful, cathartic, messy release. I really want to support you in getting to know the wise aspect of your anger. So I believe that anger can be really wise. The essence of it, there's a deep, powerful wisdom in our anger. It's self-protective. It is the part of us that can stand up to injustice. It's the aspect of our anger that says, no, that is not okay. And it can hold boundaries. It inspires action and healthy, aligned action. So this is the part of our anger that I want to welcome forward today. And there's also what I call wound anger. So there's wise anger and then there's wound anger. And a lot of times wound anger is more of that reactive anger. Oftentimes under wound anger is a deeper emotion like grief we're not willing to feel, or shame that's intolerable. So it feels a little safer to kind of go into anger because anger puffs us up. And so just to play with noticing the difference, like, oh, what I'm contacting right now, is this that wise inner protector, clear seeing, Kali-esque beast, sword wielding beast? Or is this kind of that childlike, reactive, I just want to like hurt somebody because they've hurt me anger? So just to play with noticing the difference and not judging the wound anger, but really just, we're just holding it in the space with curiosity and having an intention to access the wise anger, just because that's the one I feel like if we can form a relationship with this one first, it really starts to shift our relationship with the second one organically. So that's kind of the intention. We're going to go through two waves. The first movement wave, we'll just be getting in our bodies and meeting wise anger inside of our bodies. And the second wave, we're going to be pulling from maybe one of your past experiences that is unresolved and using that to go deeper into our anger. And that's the one where we'll be turning on music. So sound good to everybody? Nod. All right. Thumbs up, nod. Awesome. All right. Well, let's go ahead and begin. So again, if I invite you to do something doesn't feel good for your body, don't do it. Take care of yourselves. But to start, I'll just have us stand up. All right. Hoping my microphone doesn't fall off. All right. And from this, I'm just seeing something. Oh yeah, you can yawn a lot, Judy. No worries. I know 9 p.m. is late. All right. So let's go ahead and just feel your feet on the ground. See if you can soften the muscles of your jaw. And just start with taking some slow, deep breaths. Again, we're not even contacting anger yet. We're just coming home into our bodies. Deep, slow breaths, just landing, maybe wiggling your toes, pressing your feet on the ground. And let's just start with a little bit of like a wiggle. Just a little bit of a wiggle, thawing any freeze that's here. Wiggling, wiggling. Softening that jaw, letting some sound come out. And I know for you, Jason, you might not want to make as much sound, no worries. But any sound that wants to come out, and then go ahead and we're just going to stretch up towards the sky, reaching for apples on an apple tree. Yeah. Just stretching. Really feel yourself moving those hips a little bit as you reach for those apples. Reach even higher, like you're getting towards some stars in the sky. And activate that jaw and those hips. And now just a little bit of swaying side to side. Just opening up and then maybe engage your hips as you do it. Letting your head move. Great. Now do any movement that's just going to help you land here even more. So just everybody follow whatever your own impulse is. Then you might even look on the screen and see what other people are doing too, and just mimic that, coming home into these bodies. Whoa. Nothing is weird or strange. All of it is welcome. There's no right way to do this. Yeah. Great. And so wherever you are, whatever you're doing, now we're going to drop deeper in to connect with that wise anger that lives inside of all of us, our healthy inner protector, our sacred rage. And so just take some deep breaths and just imagine where it is inside of you. And imagine contacting it. And you can keep moving while you're doing this if it helps you. Kind of helps me to kind of sway back and forth just to stay in my body. And go ahead and place a hand wherever it feels like your anger is hanging out. Throat, jaw, neck, back, heart, belly, shoulders. Just saying hello. And just noticing the shape of your anger. And again, if you don't see or sense anything, just imagine it. What's the shape of my anger? What's the color of my anger in here? And now this question, which is, how does my anger not want to move? How does my anger want to move? Not how I think it should move, but how does it want to move? And so go ahead and see if you can move, let your anger move. Let it move your own body. So your anger is moving you, not you moving it. And be surprised what movement you do. It could be really subtle and small or big. There's no right way to do this. You're just meeting anger and letting it move you. And you can go low towards the ground at any point. You can go high. You can pause at any point. And again, this is your wise, clear-seeing anger. That anger that can sense BS from a mile away. Your anger that has a big no for injustice. And see if wherever you're sensing anger in the body, if this anger could move through your whole body. So it's really expressing through your limbs and through your voice. And again, you're just inviting it to move your body, moving your fingers and toes and mouth and jaw and arms and hips, whatever it wants to do. Notice if you feel afraid doing this, like now I'm opening up anger and I'm just going to be an angry person. Or if you feel excited doing this, like, whoa, I feel so in my power. I feel so embodied. And all of it is welcome. Now we're going to start to wind down this wave in these next few minutes. And don't worry, we're going to be going into a second wave. Now just taking a moment to put your hand on that area again where it feels like wise anger lives. Maybe also a hand on your heart. And saying thank you. Thank you, wise anger, for showing up today. Thank you to me, my body, my nervous system for welcoming this. How courageous of me. Great. And if you want, you can come back to seated or just come closer to the screen, and we're just going to do a little touch in before we go deeper in. Yeah, and if those of you just still need a moment, take your time. There's no rush here. Yeah. Oh, and just everybody just taking some deep breaths, just sensing yourself, sensing your body, seeing if things did get stirred up, you can just hold that with a lot of care and tenderness right now. Yeah, and I just love to hear from some of you. How was that? What came up? Anything you want to share, and feel free just to unmute yourself. And also, if there's any questions, that's welcome too.
I feel like something broke free in me. Like suddenly all this energy just blew up and through my whole body, where maybe I was sort of blocked in my solar plexus before, and but the energy actually pushed the stuff out of my throat.
Wow. That's so great to hear. And how does it feel right now? Like there's been just like something moved and
I,
cleared?
I feel like a wide open channel now.
Hmm.
Weird. I've been in this grieving for like a couple weeks, and I think I just got stuck in it. I really needed to move this deeper energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
anger is not something my family's not very good at it. My father died of esophageal cancer. I think he really had trouble expressing his anger.
yeah.
And it's weird because that's exactly where my throat has been so stuck for so long.
Wow. And was there anything in that practice that you think you did, Mary, that specifically helped this like big movement?
It's
Or
just the freedom of being with a group of people that were expressing rage. I
yeah.
think women need a weekly rage session right now.
Yeah.
Because
I really
I
do.
just can't believe how I'll be watching something and I'll get so angry I will get up and I'll start punching the air. It's just
Yeah.
I've never been this angry in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that might warrant you having weekly or twice weekly rage dances. And seriously, this is something a practitioner prescribed to me when I was in college, and I started doing it, and it was huge for unlocking trauma, and just helping me start to come into my body. I just turn on music, and I would sometimes just yell, F you, F you, F you, and like just claw the air and stomp, and like it's like it was so healing. And then also what we were doing today, so that's a little bit more the cathartic reaction, but like really tapping into like the deeper anger and rage and letting it move through you. So great job. I'm really glad to hear that, Mary. Yeah, thank you for sharing. And Alice, did you want to share? You were unmuted for a moment.
Yeah, I've been unwinding. Feel like I've had so much anger in my body that I felt like a wine cork, and working with Katie and over the last few years, I've just slowly been unwinding it. But the key one right now is in my stomach. And I think, I'm noticing, at least I'm working through right now, an awful lot of parsing out between the wise anger and the wound anger and the sort of the generational anger
Yeah.
that I have in my body that I don't think it was even mine, but I got it. And anger was a big emotion that was actually quite permissible in my family, which is kind of unusual. Like I think we were also, they didn't have the word HSP back then, but we were all HSPs, and we were just like bouncing off each other like a fizzy bottle. Somebody shook something, the whole thing went like this in our family. So explosive, but it was also cathartic because everybody knew that we all had the same energy that had to sort of come out. But I think a lot of it was so generational. And I
Yeah.
grew up with a German mother and an Irish father, so there was so much in that generationally that was going off the whole time. And I'm getting underneath that now in whole different layers, which is, part of the grief process, but also part of the visceral letting it out and making new choices. So yeah, I'm in a battle though with each one and that
Yeah.
rage that comes in with it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to the generational aspect of it, and that, yeah, these things can be stored inside of us that aren't even originally ours. And what do we do with that? And how do we support it in healthier ways moving through instead of just the bouncing off? So, yeah, thank you for naming that. And thank you for the work you're doing, because it means you're also not passing it on through the generations, you know? So it's really powerful.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah. And maybe one last share before we dive deeper in. Is there anyone else who wants to share or ask a question?
I'll just add that I ended up in a something like the haka that the New Zealanders do. That was kind of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so great. I mean, if you guys need some inspiration for moving anger, just type in haka dance on YouTube, and that, you know, like, whoa, that's so powerful. So
And
yeah.
they're not necessarily angry. It's just energy. Like they'll do it for a wedding and but it's very cool.
It's so powerful and empowering. And yeah, oh, I love it. Yeah, thank you, Jody. Okay, well, we're going to go in to another wave here. This one's going to be deeper and longer. I'll tell you in a moment, you can cue up your music. I'll actually be playing my music in the background, but Zoom actually bleeps it out, so you won't even be able to hear it. And what I would say for this wave is everybody just take a moment. Just take a deep breath and feel into one experience from your past that you would like to use as inspiration to go deeper in today. And ideally, you're not choosing some big old trauma, because we don't have boots on the ground to like really hold each other, but you're choosing something where there's enough meat to it that it can activate some of your anger. So it could be an injustice happening in the world. Someone has wronged you. You had a no, and you and or someone else didn't honor it. You shrank in a moment where you really needed to communicate something. So just feel into one experience. I'm choosing a grievance with my father in this exercise. And my father is passed, so they don't need to be alive. They can be no longer in body, but you can still be working this out. So go ahead, and we're going to just, in a moment, call forth that issue, that unresolved issue. And again, I'm going to have you come back to standing, and you can turn on your music if you like. Have it low enough so you can still hear me, because I'll be guiding for a little bit here. And when you're ready. Oh, and then it looks like Michelle created my music playlist in Apple Music. So those of you want to use that and you have Apple, not Spotify, you can do that. All right, everybody. So go ahead, stand up. Again, you can turn off video if you need to. You can also step out of the screen. And I invite you to also stay in the screen if you're willing, so we can really inspire and support each other here. So again, just rolling those shoulders. And just start with some pushing, like you're just pushing the air around you, just pushing the ceiling. You can even grit your teeth a little bit. And we're going to do again a little shaking. And now go ahead and call forward the unresolved issue. And let that impact your body. Let it touch you. And we're gonna just see if we can conjure our anger, our sacred rage. And again, just noticing how this anger wants to move, where it is in your body now. And letting it move. And your movements don't necessarily need to be big. They could be small, they can be subtle, and they can be massive, earth-shattering. And so again, really calling for that unresolved issue, that injustice, feeling wronged, and let it move you. Let it move you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. This is for you and for you only, and a gift for your body, your heart, your trauma. If other emotions come, welcome them. Feel free to stomp at any point if you need to push against a wall. To roar. And if you choose to roar, really let that energy come from the area in your body where that anger is stored. So you're really inviting it to move from that place. And if you want to, play with making your movements bigger. If any part of you is just holding back, and again, doing what feels safe, but if any part of you is holding back, see if you can really just go for it more and stay connected to yourself and your body. Awakening your hips. So much can get stored in our groin and hips. Awakening your jaw and your tongue. And at any point, if you feel a little bit overwhelmed or lost, just come back to shaking. Just come back to wiggling, shaking. Ah, again, if there's more noises that want to come through, making them ah. And giving this sacred rage to the earth. Let her compost it, giving it to the earth. There's one song. If you have my playlist, I'll invite you to turn on this song. Let me see what the name is. It's called Natural. It's about 4 or 5 songs down. And go ahead and turn up the volume on this one. This one's gonna get you even more into this moment. All right. So again, if you're ready, go for it. Letting your wise anger, your protective anger, move through you. Clawing the air, biting, feeling your wise, healthy inner protector in your body. Really trusting whatever your body wants to do. You are leading, you are guiding this. Your body knows exactly what to do, exactly what it needs. And we're going to do this for another 2 or 3 minutes and start to wind this down. So if there's any last waves, you know you need to exercise through, go for it now. Any last sounds that you need to make, that your body, your anger wants to make, go for it now. And if you feel more complete, you can start a gentle wind down. When you're ready, you can start to turn off your music. If some of you are still in a big wave, just honor it and stay with it another few minutes. But if you're willing, turning off your music, just hand on heart, hand on your belly, or wherever else feels good. And just making contact with yourself, with your deep inner self here. And just notice how you feel about that issue, that unresolved issue now. If there's any shift. And maybe you really got from this experience, whoa, there's even more here. And that's what I got from mine. I was like, ooh, there's even more with my dad that needs me to move through, dance through. There's more. Or maybe for some of you, there's been some release or relief. And so just honoring whatever's here. And again, just taking a moment with this contact on your body, your heart, just to thank yourself for doing this deep work today. Thank your body, this wise, intelligent nervous system, your wise, sacred rage. And bringing yourself back to the computer screen, back to your chair if you want to, or you could stay standing and keep moving if that's what feels indicated right now. I'm very sweaty. Yeah, and I know we have about 5 or 6 minutes left in our time together. And feel free, anyone who wants to share. And again, if you don't want to share using your voice, you can type in the chat and we can all see it, or you can unmute yourself and just share how that experience was for you.
I'll jump in. Yeah, it was really surprisingly powerful. I thought it was, for me, it felt really grounding, and like I felt like I released a lot into the earth. Um, and that when Jody had mentioned that tribal practice, and we talked about that a little bit before the second rage dance, that sort of activated that in me. And so I felt a lot of that in the second rage dance. That was really powerful way to move the anger. And I feel like there's some resolve that has happened, and a lot of like yawning and belching as well. So I think just, yeah, in the process of releasing some of that moment that I focused on.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful, Jason. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, yawning, belching, tingles, tears, all of that, warm waves is all a sign that there's movement, that there's release. So yeah, thank you. And I'm so glad, Jody, you did mention the haka dance, because I think that is just such a potent imagery and also practice to really help us access these layers. So yeah, it's a good one. Thank you, Jason. Olivia's writing in the chat, and we'll see what Olivia shared. I felt like I couldn't let myself be angry at first, but talking about the haka dance helped me too. I first got the chills, and then the anger overcame me with tears, tingles, all of it. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Olivia, so much for sharing and so much for being here. Great. Great. It's so potent to do this, and you'll experience as you keep doing it, it just opens up more and more and more. So great to hear. Yeah. Anyone else want to share?
I also get this from ecstatic dance. I don't know if I'm doing ecstatic dance right, but about a week ago, I went to this thing where it was like silent disco and the music was really good. And I just danced all my rage out. And I was kind of like, we were outside under the stars and it was just beautiful old trees. It was a grove and a park. And I was just like, oh my God, yeah, I'm releasing all of this. And I felt like I tapped into that a little bit more and went deeper. So this was good.
Yeah. Yeah. If you ever go to ecstatic dance, you will see me out there. Like it is one of my favorite places just to let it all out because, and I love that space too, because it's a very non-judgmental open space. There's no doing ecstatic dance right. It's like whatever your body wants to do. But I use that space a lot to move energy. So that's great to hear, Dawn. And yeah, how this just took it deeper. And that is like, it's very powerful. You know, you could go to a dance, any of you, and just go with an intention. Like, I'm going to go here with the intention to move anger or move grief. And that is so powerful. It really opens the door. So it's great. Thank you. Anyone else want to share? We have a few more minutes. And yeah, Jody.
I had a funny thing happened when I clicked on Michelle's link for Apple Music or something, and it brought up this thing saying you can have 3 months for free, and after that it's this much, and so I was like, what happened? I have 7,000 songs in my library. Did they just take that away from me? And so I had a additional anger, but I was also laughing at myself about it too.
Yeah. It's like funny how technology can, if you're like, oh, I need to work through my anger, just leave it to technology to like
Yeah.
bring something up that's going to just trigger the heck out of you. Yep, it's true.
So it is a funny thing when I know that I'm being angry, but I'm kind of laughing at myself. I'm amused at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I want to be angry a little, but so I can do it in a playful way,
Yeah.
and that has been a big shift over time to be able to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Thank you. And again, I'll just say to any of you who are really wanting to befriend anger, play anger is such a potent way. Like look in the mirror and just go, like roar once in a while, like make yourself laugh. Like playing with anger is such a potent way to befriend it.
Growling. I loved growling.
Yeah.
Many years ago, I was moving in and they were delivering my refrigerator. I had prepaid a hose and it was the end of the day and they had sold it. And so I just went, and I wasn't gripped by the anger. I just was expressing it. And then
And that's how the expression wanted to come out.
I said, I'm angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alice, did you want to share before we bring this to a close?
Yeah, I'm surprised because normally I can find my anger like rage anger like explosively but I was finding I wanted just to clear the anger that I've directed towards me from the outside. So, sort of the oppression like gunk out there, and it's like a generational oppression. And I was just like, I just wanted to, it was almost like I was soaking, like I was wringing out a wet moss that had soaked up. But like I was also very well aware that like some of my food choices are cultural comfort zones, and that's about survival, and they don't agree with my system at all, and yet I keep eating them. And I was just like, I felt like I had to just like wring out my stomach of the grief, the sort of uh, unconscious agreement I have that I inherited for generations, that this was about survival.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's just, I kept eating it.
Yeah.
I keep eating the stuff that is actually, I'm fucking celiac and I keep eating shit. sorry. And I just needed to, wow, just needed to say that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing it and just to like honor the grief that's here around all
Yeah.
of this. Yeah, and this motion, like you might want to bring this into your day, just like in each day, just like you're wringing it out right now. You're
Yeah.
clearing something. That's really powerful to feel.
Yeah, like my heart's just pounding just right now,
Wow.
just even admitting that because that's like the secret, right? And I've been playing this off like with the German food and with the Irish food, and I keep going back and forth, and it's from both sides. I know it is, and it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
in my belly,
Yeah.
just screaming at me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, deep bows to you and your process, Alice, and thank you for bringing it here. And your vulnerability is like everyone can relate to like those hidden things that are like, oh, this just came out. Oh my gosh, and this needs to come out for it to be healed. So thank
Mm.
you. Well, and I know we're over time here, so I just want to thank you all so much for being here, for doing this good work. Keep doing this. This is good medicine. Do it in your bedroom. Go to ecstatic dance or some other dance practice. Do it in your car seated while you're not driving. Like just like moving the energy is so potent. And yeah, it's such an honor to be with you here. And Michelle, is there anything you wanted to share
Oh,
here?
I just want to thank you and everybody here for creating something so powerful together. Juna, your work again is so important. Thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much. Thank you. This was beautiful. You're beautiful.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Bye for now.